Hello, beautiful people. My name is Athol, and this is Relationship Momentum. So today, I'm going to talk about one core question that I think is going to put a really nice handle on essentially everything I've ever talked about on this channel and on the blogs and the books and everything. And that question is, if your partner was meeting you for the first time today, would they want to date you? Would you, you're not in a relationship with them, you're not in a relationship with anyone, they're not in a relationship with anyone. If they met you for the first time, would they want to date you? And the answer to that question is going to give so much context to everything. Because if the answer to that question is yes, and your answer to the question for them is yes, you would both date each other. Yes, you would start something up. You would go to dinner and you'd want a second date and a third date. That just tells me everything about your relationship. I already know that there's going to be a lot of love. There's going to be a lot of sex. There's going to be affection. There's going to be intimacy. There's going to be communication. Everything about your relationship is going to be going pretty well. You may have some life problems, but the relationship is fine. But if the answer to that question of, would they date you is no, well, then we already know straight away that you're in a world of trouble because they really don't want to be there. And you're going to struggle to get from them any sense of love. You're going to struggle to get their sexual response. You're going to struggle to get affection from them. And intimacy and communication are all going to be strained or evasive or difficult because they wouldn't even want to date you. But here they are in a relationship with you. Here they are in a marriage with houses and careers and kids and everything. And the truth is they just wouldn't want to date you. They wouldn't want to spend 2 hours on a Friday night with you. So the answer to that question is huge. And this really does explain to it, as sort of as an aside, why date nights are in a sense sort of a poor tool sometimes at fixing relationship. I know there's so much advice about going on date nights. Well, date nights are fantastic if you both find each other dateable because you want to date. You want to spend special time together. You want to go out together. You want to go to a restaurant and have a conversation by candlelight and then go home and have great sex. You want this because you find each other dateable. But if one or both of you don't find the other person dateable and now you're meant to do a date night, oh my God, it's like pulling teeth. It is just like it's Tuesday and Friday is coming and then you have to do the thing. There's going to be so much expectation and you're meant to be working on the relationship and there probably should be sex afterwards, but one or both of you really don't want to do it. And it just becomes a big awful thing in your week where you're planning a babysitter and you're spending money to do the thing that you don't want to do. And it can end up making things worse because it just proves you don't want to be together. Or one of you doesn't. But I also suspect for many people watching, the answer to the question of, would you want to date them or would they want to date you? It's probably sort of a, it's not a yes, it's not a no. It's like I kind of sort of have to really think about it. And that's fine if it's truthful, but it also means you're in a sort of a difficult situation too, in that you're in this relationship and the relationship is being sustained simply because you're already in the relationship and the relationship has its own form of relationship momentum. And it's not bad enough that it gets all blown up, but it's not really good enough that you're super excited about it. And you have to understand there are two really different things going on. There is a world of difference between being in a relationship and your partner wanting to date you. And don't get me wrong, being in a relationship is great. It gets you lots of really good things. It gets you a shared history. It gets you a friend. It gets you some sort of companion if you are sick at times. It gives you co-parenting, shared finances, a place to stay together. And these are all great things that you need and everyone wants. But it's that thing of them finding you dateable that is going to get you the true love and the true sex and the true affection and intimacy and close communication that you most crave. And simply because you're in a relationship doesn't mean that they automatically find you dateable. Hopefully, they found you dateable once. So there's a whole bunch of things I typically ask during coaching is like, what were you doing at the beginning of the relationship? Why did they want to date you then? What were you doing? Can we get back to it? Can we find the things that were working? There's a lot of going back to the beginning to find what was working. But we still have to get them to find you dateable. And you know that you can't demand that they just find you dateable. You can't guilt trip someone into finding you dateable. You actually have to be someone that they would find interested in, that they would want to date you. And understand too, I'm not talking about you have to be some sort of supermodel. I'm not saying you have to be a billionaire vampire, in order to attract them as a partner. You just have to be someone that they would want to date, want to spend time with now in their current situation. We all know we're not going back to our early 20s if you're in your 40s or whatever. You just have to be someone that they would want to date now. It's not an impossible, unachievable task. It's actually something you can do. But you have to be dateable if you want them to find you dateable.